Sekela Sihlalo we-NCOP malunga bekekileyo, fellow South Africans molweni. Mr. President, wherever you are, 3 years ago I listened to your first sona with hope. Like most young people, I was hungry for hope after the 9 wasted Zuma years. However, 3 years later, I sat as a young man and a member of this house, and the hope that your words once carried has morphed into despair. And for millions of young South Africans, tragically have become empty, ditched from reality. It should not have come as a shock that there was absolutely nothing said to address our failing education system, which contributes heavily to poverty, youth unemployment, and socio-economic opportunities. Mr. President, growing up in rural Tsono, I managed to acquire better education and escape poverty only through the charity of scholarships, which allowed me to access one of the best educational institutes. I, however, remain an outlier of success to the many I completed grade 1 with Englu JSS Kutsolo Emahlubini. The reality is that if you were to have the misfortune of being a poor child growing up in South Africa, you would be most likely to be one of the 50% of grade 1 pupils who will never write a matric exam. Most certainly you will be one of the 80% of children who would receive an education that is amongst the very worst in the world. Our education that confines us to a lifetime of poverty and unemployment. If through sheer grit and determination you manage to beat these odds of poor infrastructure, unresponsive curriculum, poor quality teaching, if you survive crossing rivers and pit toilets like we saw in Limpopo this past Monday, MEC, and pass a matric exam, chances are you will be part of the 75% of matrics without a bachelor's pass, leaving slim chances for you to access an institution of higher learning. If through hard work you manage to attain a diploma or degree, you might be part of the thousands that are sitting at home and graduates. When the ANC education system is done with you, you will be part of the over 10 million unemployed South Africans, of which 60% are young people. Mr. President, we were lied to. When you promised to eradicate unsafe and inappropriate sanitation facilities within 3 years, today over 3,700 schools have no access to water, Minister Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma. They have 4,000 schools still have pit toilets. No matter how you avoid addressing the issue, you cannot run away from the stench of unsafe toilets that the grade R learners in Madigicha Primary School in Limpopo are at risk of being another Michael Komapi. Yet, you want to allocate a budget and cut away infrastructure budget of 1 billion from education to save a failing entity like SAA. In KZN, learners are forced to study without desks. Learners literally are left behind, 120,000 of them eligible for scholar transport. The National Senior Certificate has become a joke. The curriculum has become irrelevant as universities would rather rely on the national benchmark test rather than taking those results which no longer indicate an indication of quality. You lied, Mr. President, when you said no corruption in the PPE process will happen. But can you explain the 431 million spent on deep cleaning in Gauteng, whereas they could have bought another school? The DA believes that the education is the foundation of opportunity. Honorable Sekela Sihlalo, NCOP, the DA believes that we can fix our education system. We can do so by ensuring our budgets are spent on updating and fixing dangerous infrastructure such as pit toilets, asbestos, and mud schools rather than spending them on deep cleaning. Ensuring access to water as a basic human right in the first line of defense in our schools. Fix the curriculum to focus on specialization schools and accelerate the process to ensure that they are relevant for industry, entrepreneurship, innovation, and the South African job market. It should also include the introduction of a provincial education inspectorate at arm's length from government to assess teaching and learning in the classroom, to bridge the skills gap and aggressively hunt maths teachers. No doubt that your government, Mr. President, like the Honorable Minister of Justice here, will continue to blame its failures on colonialism and apartheid. Colonialism and apartheid placed South Africans in a state of economic disempowerment. But your government has kept us there and even worsened our chances at any form of economic prosperity. I urge you, Mr. President, stop talking about smart cities and dreams. Start with the basics so that the future of this country can have a tomorrow. I thank you.
Thank you.